I transformed this ocean monument in Minecraft. Today I'll be showing you a tour and everything I built inside of it. I transformed this entire ocean monument, so let's begin with the tour. So the theme of this, or like the lore of the base, is that someone's moved into this abandoned like monument. So as you can see, there's areas where the base is obviously breaking apart and then it's been fixed with scaffolding. Obviously not perfect though, but whoever has moved into this base has done their best to kind of fix it here. However, to make this base actually operational, they've had to, sacrifice the looks of the old monument by, putting in a power source here with an antenna, some other stuff over there. Some pipes are coming out of the building all over the place, which just kind of really messes with the aesthetic. So if we kind of use the free cam here, you can kind of see that effect more and more on the outside here. A whole ton of pipes going in and out. There's air vents and everything like that, whatever the heck this is. Just a whole ton of, again, the scaffolding and vines over here, just to kind of show that this was once a perfectly intact monument. It has since been overrun by the nature of this area, and then someone has moved into the base. Of course, this entire area was drained out and kind of put the glass circle around it. So as you can see here, I've now moved in. Of course, there is my nether portal and my path up to the front of it. As you can see, it says J55 right there, which of course is my name. And we have right off the bat the God mode toggle. So when I press this, it actually sends a 1-tick pulse directly down using walls all the way to activate some of the beacons around here, which just gives me beacon effects, but I'm not really a huge fan of them because I don't really use them for building or, destroying more of the structure. So I like to keep it off. However, we're going to start on the left here and show off my storage system. It's pretty basic, just has, everything I need. Unlike the Woodland Mansion, which I showed off in a previous video, this one actually has a proper storage system. Everything is labeled. This is kind of my main base of operations. We have a bed. Over here, though, we kind of have an area that shoots off to the side. There's just some extra storage here that I don't actually use, but it's just kind of, again, to give that look that someone has moved in. However, they haven't done a very good job of kind of decorating the area, and they've just thrown their junk in the corner. Over here, there's just more of a rundown area. Again, the lights kind of have this like birch wall put on top with some LEDs kind of stringed on top is the way I kind of think of it. Like these lights have kind of burnt out since the monument was first made, so there's, light bars and everything like that to provide light. Over here, we have a sugarcane farm. Collects all in here using some hopper minecarts. It is very inefficient, but at the same time, I don't really care. I have my own rocket making facility elsewhere, so I don't really care. This is solely for vanity. You can see, again, the piping and everything like that around here. Yeah, this is more or less not a great farm. Continuing past that, over here, we have a small chicken farm. That's just 1x1 area, which gives you some eggs. We also have Benny, the pufferfish, some maps. Again, more pipes and everything, light bars. I won't point out all of it during the rest of this tour, but just know it's kind of there in the background. We have some sheep in here, which of course is a very inefficient wool farm. Again, purely for vanity. We kind of have them in test tubes, like we're operating on them or whatever like that. We cycle all the way back to the main room, past the rooms I've just showed off. We have a ladder here. We're going to go up here past this kind of copper area, which is kind of like a power source, and we can get up here. Over here, we have a cobble and stone generator. So if we want cobble, we can just mine it like this. Again, this is when I would put the God mode on and get haste effects. However, if we wanted to get stone, we can also do this. It shifts some of the pistons around and a couple pickaxe destroys here. We are now farming stone, and when you have silk touch, it's a good thing to get as well. Everything kind of falls out into this barrel here, so whenever I need it, I use it. I don't use it that often, but it's a cool thing to have. We have two ways we can go here. I'm going to go this way first, and it kind of leads to this area which had all these columns. This one has especially been destroyed and kind of been replaced with the scaffolding. Over here, we have a cocoa bean farm, so when all of these are grown, we can push the button, and it harvests everything there and puts the well back for the next harvest. We just have to plant everything, and we have the cocoa beans stored in there. Over here is the big open room. This is one of those gold blocks, and it's originally dark prismarine. However, on the inside, we have put the gold inside. It's staying there, and I'm treating this as like a power source. So we have like these wires coming out, and then it's going through the thing into the ground to, I don't know, provide more power somewhere else and everything like that. So it's a huge kind of core here. It doesn't actually provide power, but I like to think it does. Over here, we have two sniffers here, and they are just giving me a whole ton of, torch flowers and pitcher pots. I kind of use these not in this build exactly, but in the Woodland Mansion build on the channel, I use them a lot, so they're helpful to have. So over here in the power cord room, we have another area which is one of the main big farms here. If we drop down here, we have a very different atmosphere. However, this is my kelp farm. It's basically always burning kelp, and we're using bamboo blocks as a fuel source. And basically, this is kind of not only a dried kelp farm, which we're getting in shulkers here. However, it's also an XP farm. So if we ever want XP, we can, hold it in here and then pull it out there. So the way this works is a giant kelp farm. So if we use free cam, really shows off how it works. So all the kelp comes in here, funnels up the water elevator. Then we have an item sorter, so we're filtering out glowing sacks, which we occasionally get here. The actual kelp filters through and goes up to here, where it is then smelted in a mass auto smelter in the back here. All the dried kelp comes in here, gets smelted into blocks. It then gets auto crafted and auto sorted into a shulker box, where it is then broken, sent out this way, back up the water stream, and it floods back in here where we can access the dried kelp blocks as well. Again, I don't really use it for the kelp. I mostly use it for XP whenever I need it. However, when we exit there, we can flood up towards here where there's more piping coming from the copper core over there. Plus the wires make a really nice kind of filling area here because I didn't know what to do in this long hallway. However, if we go over here, there's another massive drop down for a farm. Again, this area is very different. This is my bamboo farm. We are getting way more bamboo blocks than I'll ever need, which is why I've started using them as fuel. As we come through the back here and turn the corner, past all the redstone, we have the giant bamboo farm here. This thing is absolutely insane. There's so many rows of this, but if we actually follow a piece of bamboo here, it all floods into this main center storage, comes all the way up here, the water elevator. Once it comes in here, it gets auto-crafted into bamboo blocks. Once the blocks get crafted, they come up here into a shulker box loader. Once the shulker is fully filled, it gets dispensed here and sorted all the way into the barrels, which you saw before. It's a huge farm and I have more bamboo than I'll ever need, so I again use it mostly for the melting of things as well. However, once we exit here, we have this area, again just more bamboo, scaffolding, stuff like that. Just kind of leads into this area where we have a cactus farm below us. It's kind of all harvested in there. Past the bamboo farm though, we have this area which a whole ton of chests and just monotonous like storage. Again, this has just been hastily placed in here, again like someone's moving in, except they don't know where to put everything. Over here we have the cactus storage in here. There's also some extra blocks apparently, which I guess never sorted, but that's fine. Shows how much I actually use the cactus, barely at all. But yeah, this is kind of a cool area as well, and if we go this way, it leads back to the main storage room and where the god mode is. However, let's not go back that way. Instead, let's go up this very tall ladder, and when we leave this area, we have this caution area. Again, it's like I'm still working on this area, and this area hasn't been fully made yet. It's a whole ton of bamboo scaffolding in place. Over here though, we come back to the original stone generator, so let's go this way. Over here we have a bee farm. Good use of the banners here, make it look futuristic, and then all the honey and honeycomb gets put into here, which we can access later. Past this thing, again, it looks like it's kind of run down, but we can avoid that. We come into this giant room. I was going to put stuff in here, but it's just such a small room, and the looks of it, that I don't actually worry about it. Turning the corner, we can have a shortcut back to the storage center. Leading over here, we actually have a giant pumpkin and melon farm, and if you think this is big, which it's really not, it's again pretty slow. However, pure vanity. It's a small farm. It barely turns in profits. We have another monstrosity in here. Auto crafting melons into those shulkers, auto crafting the pumpkins into the shulkers here. And if we use the free cam, you can see the giant farm for this. This farm is way over the top. The pumpkins and melons get flooded in here. You can see they get run up here. The melons get sorted in there and then put into this green line where they're then auto crafted into melon blocks, then auto crafted into shulkers where they can then get sorted over there. The pumpkins, however, fall to this orange line where they come in through here, put in a shulker here. The shulker loader then puts them through this line and then into the storage over there where we're collecting the shulker boxes of them, which they are entirely full of. When we leave the pumpkin and melon farm, however, we can fly back over here, and this just leads us back to that copper core. However, there's still a couple details I missed. One of my coolest features here is auto crafting shulkers. So if we right click this, we can make a shulker. We do it again, we can make another shulker. Pretty cool. We have a whole way to access the shulker shells here where we can put more in. And if we go up through here, past that stone generator and into this room with the caution tape, we can access this area where we can put bamboo blocks in, and these get auto-crafted in their chest for the shulker maker. Up here though, we have a wind charge player launcher, which launches us into space. Once we're up here though, we can actually fly this direction, which leads us to my firework making. Flying over here, we have this thing. I do want to build a kind of outline and a build around this. However, I haven't gotten around to it. However, this simply just, shulker loads gunpowder. However, one thing you'll notice, this entire creeper farm is above a giant sugarcane farm. So when we AFK, we do a 2-for-1 deal. All the sugarcane then gets put into here where it's auto crafted into paper and then auto put into shulkers right here, where you can see we have a whole ton of paper. That allows me to take both a shulker box of gunpowder and a shulker box of paper, fly back to the ocean monument where we can then go through here and we have a way to auto craft the fireworks from the 2 shulkers. So once we're ready, we can place paper down here and place the gunpowder down here. It's auto crafted into firework rockets, and once it's fully full, we have Josh's rockets already pre-named shulker boxes. So when we're completely out of rockets in our ender chest, I'm just ready to grab a box and go. So I have way more backlog than I'll ever need, so I basically will never run out of rockets in this world. It's a cool thing to have. have inside of the Ocean Monument. Looking at the redstone, it's actually pretty simple. All of the paper and gunpowder gets unloaded here, crafted right there in that crafter, where it's then kind of dropped into all these shulker lines, where it then is kind of picked up by the hoppers, put into the shulkers here. Once they're full, they get pushed out and then all funneled through this water line into the main hopper and barrel system, where we can collect them. Other than that, that's basically everything I have to show off in this Ocean Monument. If you guys liked the tour of this build, again, I worked pretty hard on this in between my time of making main videos on the channel. I've just been using my crappy school laptop to make this. So if you liked the video and you liked the tour, make sure to leave the video a like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more.